The recording didn't start yet. You'll hear the notice from her.
Okay, now I heard it. Okay, good evening. My name is Kathleen Warnock. I'm the chair of the Consumer Affairs Licenses Committee, and we are having our monthly meeting this evening. We have the memorandum that has our agenda on the screen right now. As you can see, we are starting with a review of one liquor license application, then review of outdoor dining applications, and review of cannabis applications. And then we will do old business, new business, and adjournment. So I'd like to welcome the members of the committee who are here this evening and the business owners who have joined us tonight, in particular those with the outdoor dining applications. We're going to try and get you through as quickly as we can so that we won't be here for a really long time. Okay, so let's start at the top. We're going to talk about the review of the liquor license application for the business known as La Macarena, 3329 Astoria Boulevard. Do we have a representative from La Macarena, an owner or a legal representative for them?
Hi.
Yes.
Yes, this
Okay.
is Christian Gallen. Hi.
Hi, and are you the owner?
Yes.
Okay. And do you have a legal representative with you? We did have someone here last month.
Yes, Arielis should be on. Let me text her, see if she's in the meeting right now.
Okay. Our main concern about this particular business is that La Macarena, formerly known as Republic, does it indeed have a liquor license now? And are you serving liquor and hookah to your patrons? And we'd like to know what the status of that is.
So yes, we do have a liquor license. We've been so La Macarena, we use the DBA for Republic.
But I just a little while ago looked on the state website and it said that Republic's liquor license was inactive. Therefore, Republic's liquor license is not one that can be used right now to serve liquor or to be used as a liquor license. So were you Republic before or did you take over from Republic?
Yes, we were Republic before. The license was put in safekeeping for about a week or two. I believe Arielis had some trouble taking out of safekeeping. She is the one that actually knows what's going on with that. But as of SLA, we do have an active liquor license.
Okay, well, yes. Do we have your representative here?
Arielis? Uh,
Okay, because that's obviously point number one and the one that we just sort of need to have settled before anything else is that do you actually have an active liquor license? So we need to know that is happening because if not, then the fact that you have been open and serving liquor and hookah, which I don't think you have a license for, is
we have
something.
not we have not been serving hookah.
Okay, well, I don't know if you remember last month. Were you here last month?
I was here last month.
Okay, we did pull up some information that was both given to us and from social media that you were serving hookah, ladies drink free till 1 a.m., et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the most important thing is we need to know that you have an active liquor license and that you're observing the local laws and basically being a good neighbor. Staying open till 4 a.m. is a tough one because it does mean that people come out on the street. And it worries us that you don't seem to be the best of neighbors.
Yeah, we're trying to be the neighbors. We actually had a noise complaint not too long ago. We hired a sound guy to come in and do renovations on the sound, replace speakers, move speakers, do a whole test on our speaker system so there's no sound leakage. There's pretty much a soundproofing system.
Okay, and then we did have you had the fire department in to make sure that you have your certificate of occupancy in order and that you are safe enough and that you are not putting in too many people at night.
Yes, we have had the fire department show up. Yeah, we are sadly, since the name change, business has not been booming. So we at most have had 20 to 30 people inside the venue at most.
Okay, so then actually one of the things I would like to know is why did you change your change from Republic to La Macarena? Was that in order to improve the business, or how did that work?
Yes, the idea was to improve the business.
And I keep, beg your pardon?
Oh no, sorry, I'm driving right now.
All right, be very careful.
Yes.
The last thing we want is someone to not pay attention while they're behind the wheel. So
No, I'm paying attention.
yeah.
Actually, if Madam Chair, if I could interrupt.
Yes, please, Thomas, I'd love to hear from you.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I do believe that it is dangerous for someone to be driving while fielding questions from the board. Is there any way that this business owner could pull over?
Yeah, I'm pulling over right now. I was just getting into a parking lot. I'm getting into the parking lot. I'm parking.
Thank you. I would hate for anything to happen to you or to someone else. We have
Yeah,
some
no.
time with you. I'm so sorry, Madam Chair. That's
No, seriously, that
apologize.
was a good thing to bring up, and I truly appreciate that. Okay, so at this point, we're hearing from you, and the question that remains unanswered is, in fact, whether you have an active liquor license. So I think it's extremely important for your legal representative, if she is not here now, for us to hear from her as soon as possible. Do you have any idea when she might be joining us?
I'm having my wife text her right now. I've texted her, Instagrammed her. I'm gonna make her call her because I'm using my phone, so I'm gonna have her call her right now, see what's up, because she's usually really good with this.
Okay, yeah. Well, ultimately with us, we can't work with a business that's serving liquor without a liquor license. That's what it all comes down to.
I'm 100% sure we do have a liquor license, just because last month when we had this whole situation thinking that we didn't have a liquor license, precinct 114 went to the business and verified everything that we had, and they verified that we did have a liquor license.
Yes. If I may ask, Florence, did you receive any correspondence from the 114 about their actions with this club?
Madam Chair, I did not receive any correspondence from the 114th precinct, and I was informed that they are not the former owners of Republic. The former owners of Republic sold the business to them. This owner does not have an active lease with this real estate, and in addition to that, this is a crossover use of license, which state liquor authority does not allow. I spoke directly with Albany, and Albany stated this crossover use is not allowed. So therefore, what they're doing is not proper and appropriate. So
Okay, thank you, Florence, for
that's
that
what I have.
clarification. That's what I was looking for. Tell you what, as for the ownership, let's have you, if you can, wait a few more minutes around, because I don't think this discussion can continue without your legal representation. Can you stay with us for a little bit, and when she does arrive, we can continue the discussion? Oh,
Madam
wait,
Chair?
Aurelia, hold on.
Aurelia is not a lawyer, just so you know.
Okay. All right, so is Aurelia in now? Yes, and Evie has a question. Evie, please go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. I don't believe she is a lawyer. So if the person here who is the owner, they should be accountable for what it is that is presented before them.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aurelia Tavares. I'm the representative for the establishment La Macarena. How are you?
That's
Okay.
fine. I think we did have some questions for the owner.
Sure.
Because I'm hearing
Okay.
conflicting things. So to the owner of La Macarena, you were not the owner of Republic?
No, so I'm managing right now.
Okay, I thought you just said that you owned Republic before.
did
We have a
for
little bit of a language conflict, so you're gonna have to be a little patient.
I don't think there's a language conflict. What's the
Yeah, we
language
did, we
conflict?
did hear that he owned the business and changed the name to improve the business. That's
He's
what we were
managing
told
the
by the owner.
establishment right now, Miss Warnick.
Okay, so that actually does confirm that Republic was a previous business. They had a liquor license, and as far as I've been able to determine from looking at public records, that is an inactive liquor license. Therefore, now moving on to La Macarena. Does La Macarena have an active liquor license?
Miss Warnick, I don't know where you're looking, but that Republic has an active liquor license operating DBA La Macarena. We can send you the DBA paperwork. If you look on the SLA website, Republic's license is active.
Okay, but if you have changed owners, does the liquor license transfer? Because I believe
We have
that,
not changed, Miss Warnick, we have not changed owners. He is managing La Macarena he's managing La Macarena. He's he wants to buy the business. And when we're ready to do the transfer, we will forward, a purchase agreement along with the corresponding paperwork for the transfer.
Can I ask a few questions, please?
Sure,
yes,
Mr. Wright.
please, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Who holds the liquor license currently?
Roberto.
Where is Roberto?
I was trying to get him on the call, but he's in the kitchen right now. If you want, I can get him on the call. If you give me a moment, I can get him on the call.
Sure.
Give me one moment, please.
Roberto have a last name?
Just Roberto.
Just Roberto, like,
Yeah, because liquor licenses are held in individual capacities. So if Roberto, we need to find out Roberto's relationship to La Macarena. That's all.
Yeah.
I also just want to note on the SLA website, it says inactive for Republic's liquor license.
Yes, and that's what you're saying, Evie, that I had turned up earlier in doing a search on the LAMP website. So that is what I found as well. And I know
Okay.
that we have different people here talking, but at this point, I don't see any proof that there is an active liquor license for La Macarena, not Republic, La Macarena, which is what it is now serving drinks as. That is our big concern.
Sometimes this is a business decision, which I'm familiar with, where the individual who holds the liquor license still holds title to the business prior to the transfer. And then they continue to serve alcohol. And many times lawyers try to put the liquor license as something that can be transferred, which we know it cannot be transferred from one owner to the next. So I would assume that they're using this as a bridge to get them from Republic to the new corporation before this gentleman who was speaking before us regarding being the owner and potentiality to purchase, so they can continue buying. But I would be interested to know, has the business been transferred? Is that license truly active or is it inactive? And who holds the license?
Yeah, those are all good questions. Oh, Aurelia, please take yourself off of mute. You're on mute, Aurelia.
Oh,
Okay, did we lose it? No, there you are.
No,
Please
she's
take
there.
yourself off of mute, okay?
hi, Christian, are you there?
I'm here. I just parked.
Who is Roberto?
Roberto's the business owner
Okay, so he's the owner of what business?
of Republic, La Macarena, everything.
Republic.
Well, yeah, but there's the two names. There's Republic with the inactive liquor license, and there is La Macarena, which this is the question of the evening. Do they have an active liquor license?
Roberto.
Like I said,
I'm sorry, Christian. Pardon me.
the best person that can answer that would be Ariela.
Hello, everyone. I'm sorry, Roberto's gonna get on the call now. I'm sorry, guys. I have coffee.
Oh, Adela,
I
thank you.
just sent him the link. I'm sorry.
Okay, so, yeah, it's that season again, isn't it?
So
Yeah,
Christian, if I could ask Christian, do you have a letter of intent to buy Republic from Roberto?
A letter of what?
Intent, do you plan on buying the
I
business
ha- I-
from Roberto?
we have a letter of intent.
You do have a letter of intent. So that's what's happening. You guys are in the middle of a transaction whereby Roberto is holding the liquor license and who's going to be your purchaser? Christian?
Christian
Okay.
and his sister.
Okay. And you're not going to be partners with Roberto, right?
Not that I know of, Mr. Christian. Roberto Perez, Roberto, is Christian, are you gonna be in, Christian, are you gonna be in business with Roberto? I don't,
I don't think so. We haven't gone to that deep into it.
Okay, Christian, you should know this board, the reason we do this is really we want good neighbors who have good businesses because we like that. So we would love for you to have a good business, but what we're concerned about is if there's a mess with Republic's liquor license, and then you come in and purchase Republic, at one point you or your business partner is going to have to apply for a liquor license under Macarena.
yes,
Now, this could complicate the whole deal for you because if currently Republic's liquor license as represented in the SLA website is inactive and La Macarena is serving alcohol with Roberto, who's somewhat of a shell owner while you manage and run the place, that's going to give you problems at SLA that we wouldn't want you to have. Additionally, have you submitted your application for a new liquor license?
As
No.
La Macarena.
For La Macarena?
no,
No. But Aurelia, you'll be representing him when he
Yes.
submits his new liquor license. But
Yes.
you haven't undertaken to submit a liquor license for that.
No, not yet. And just so you know, the license is active.
And so
I
all
don't-
we're really dealing with here is you've taken Republic and then you filed a DBA with the Department of State
Yes,
to have La Macarena. So really Republic and La Macarena are not independent businesses.
no,
They are the same business.
correct.
Okay, and title has not transferred to Christian, but has a letter of intent to purchase Republic.
Yes, because usually just some common practices, people go in to see how the business is running.
Yeah.
To see if they even want to be part of this business. So that's what the Christian and his sister are doing. They're
Yeah.
managing the location with Mr. Perez, and who should be on the call.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
is Perez Roberto's last name?
Yes.
Okay, Roberto Perez is the current owner. Evie,
Him
you
and
have
his
another
mom.
question? Evie?
Yes. Who holds the Republic liquor license? What is the name on the license?
It's Roberto Perez and his mother. I can give you the name. I'm sorry,
What's
guys.
his mother's name?
Hold on 1 second. My phone is about to die, so you just have to bear with me.
Excuse me, Aurelia,
Yeah.
it's my under my mother's name, Milagros Pantaleon.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, who's that
that's the
speaking?
person.
That's Roberto
is that
Perez speaking now?
Yeah,
That's
I'm her
Roberto.
son.
Yes.
I'm her son.
And according to the State Liquor Authority LAMP mapping project, Republic's liquor license expired in January of 2024.
January?
No,
No,
So
that
you're
cannot
saying
be.
that that's not accurate.
No.
no, that mapping is wrong. That mapping, we just renewed that. That mapping's wrong.
I think it's very important to explain that the Republic was only bought like 2 years ago, but it was owned by other people before, and that was when they had all the issues and all the problems. While we owned it, We never had any issues. Well, under it wasn't that it kept the same name, but it switched ownerships. If you look
Okay,
at
so you
yeah,
bought it,
so this very important to know. Just so you know, that's a very important fact because I know previous to us owning the location, there was a few issues there, which we didn't have. Not at all. Our license has no tickets, no issues.
so you took over in 2024.
I don't remember exactly. I know the license
Okay,
was just
but then
renewed.
you've only
So
held
it's
it
like,
for a year before you're selling it. Right now,
no,
this
I
is,
think I think it's only like
Well,
2 years.
when you
Like
purchase, just so you know, members
yeah,
of the board, when you purchase the shares of a corporation, the liquor authority takes almost a year to a year and a half
yeah.
to effectuate the transfer. So they've been in
Okay.
fact there a year and a half.
I would actually really appreciate it if Florence could explain the process
Okay,
as it is in the law. So Florence, could you do that?
I'm going to take you back to December, January of last year. We had Republic on the agenda. A woman came before us. They had a whole bunch of problems. We reviewed them. It was a Greek woman. She came before the board. She told us at that time that she was going to rename the board and it was going to be a gay night spot. I forgot the name that she used. They even went as far as to change the awning outside and put the new name outside, and the colors of the outside changed. That came into January, February of this year. The
Was that
lease is,
Eros?
Yeah,
that sounds
that
right.
Yeah,
that was
because
us. Yeah,
I've seen
No, it was
the
the
awning.
woman. It was the woman, and they were operating without a name change, without a liquor license, which was illegal. They only opened once. And then what happened? Well,
we never operated Eros without a liquor license. Never at all.
they had no liquor license with that name. I contacted
Oh,
the
okay. We were waiting on the DBA approval, but the liquor
You're-
license for Republic was active, and
It
everything was
doesn't matter.
yeah.
You're not allowed to
And we didn't have
operate.
any. Yeah,
Are you going to keep talking or are you going to let me finish? It's up
I'm
to you.
sorry.
I can
I'm
stop.
sorry. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So what happened was once you change the name outside, you cannot operate under the name that was on the license. You have to do a corporate change. You have to do a change on your liquor license. You cannot change the sign before you change your liquor license. We called State Liquor Authority in Albany. State said that the transactions that are occurring are not allowed and they are going to be sending out inspectors to your place. Where that's
Actually,
gone, may I finish?
okay.
Please.
Where that has gone from here, I don't know, but you are not allowed to be operating under Republic's license. That was made clear by Albany. So in essence, you are indeed operating without a liquor license because Republic does not have an active liquor license for you. Also, you are not on the lease of the property.
What?
The
Ma'am,
lease
I think there's a big misunderstanding here. When we opened it, when we did the name change to Eros, we updated that with the liquor authority. We didn't open not even one single day without a DBA. And I can send you pictures and the
I
application
think that some paper, hold on one
of
second,
when we did that.
Robert.
If you look
I
at the
think
current
some
license, yeah,
understanding,
I
Okay,
think
there's a
there's a
huge
big
misunderstanding here.
there's a
everybody,
big
please,
misunderstanding.
please stop
Yeah,
talking at once.
yeah,
Aurelia,
there's a big.
can you tell us what you think happened?
Okay, now what I
Okay,
think happened
Aurelia.
before we open.
Robert,
The,
hold on,
yeah.
Roberto, let me finish.
Uh,
When the main license is under a corporation, no matter what business it is, if they use a DBA on the outside, they should let the community board and the liquor authority know within a reasonable amount of time. Sometimes they don't do that, like in the case of him, but if the main license is
Aurelia, we
active, the
did.
corporation, that,
Aurelia, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm trying to clear up the misunderstanding. Before we even opened, we updated with the liquor authority the name for Eros. 100% sure. If,
no, I understand,
I
but what
even
I'm
have a
saying is,
picture of the current liquor license. Says Corporation Republic, and on the bottom says DBA Eros. I have a picture 100%. We're not going to open illegally or to do anything like that. That
if you could
100%.
send that
That's
to me so that I
Okay.
yeah.
can email it.
It's
Yeah.
actually probably on the wall
Madam
still.
Chair, through the
Yes,
chair,
please.
please.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to call the meeting to order, please. And Florence,
Madam
did you have
Chair.
something to add?
Yes, if indeed They did do the corporate change to Eros. We, as a community board, would have called them in because of the affiliation to Republic. As you all know, as board members of this committee, they were never called in as Eros. So they couldn't have done the paperwork change without filing a 30-day notice to the community board.
No,
We never
so
called them.
Florence, it's
Aurelia,
no
please
longer
let Florence
necessary
finish.
to notify the community board. You just send it straight to the liquor authority. We don't have to do that anymore. The laws have changed with the liquor authority. We don't have to send a 30-day notice to the community board. As long as the corporation is active and the liquor license is in the name of the corporation, the DBA, we can let you know as a courtesy, but we send it straight to the liquor authority. Just so you know, the laws have changed. We don't have to do any of that.
Well, I
And
will
yet,
tell
still,
you,
this all circles back to the fact that we cannot find an active liquor license for Republic right now. So if you actually have proof that there is an active liquor license, I'm sure that
I'll get that to you.
would very much like to see it.
I will tell you that the state liquor authority has not notified any of the community boards of what you're claiming.
Okay, so I think that we're going around in circles at this point, but we do know now that we have heard from all the individuals involved, and we to get to the bottom of this, we need to know the status of the liquor license, which I know that Aurelia says she will get to Florence, and I know that Florence will find out what is going on with the liquor license. And if there is no active liquor license, then well, ultimately, that leads us to believe that you are not a good neighbor. So that you
Yeah,
can.
and can we reschedule this for another meeting? I'm
But
sorry,
we have
guys, but
already
we want to make sure
rescheduled
you have
this
all the
twice.
information.
At this point, we've already asked, you have asked, and we have said yes for you to reschedule, including last month when there appeared to be 2 representatives. So I'd like you to get what you have, to the proof that there is a current active liquor license for Republic to our office, and then we will make our recommendation to the full board before the meeting next, or at the meeting next week.
I will get that to you right away, as soon as I get to my office.
Okay, because I think it is the question of the evening. All other questions aren't really, don't really count except for this one. So please do that. And the owners, I know will, if they have any further evidence of this, we'll also share it, and we will do our due research in making sure that you do or do not have an active liquor license. Okay?
Thank you for being so gracious, everyone, and taking our meeting this late in the evening. Thank you.
Could
Okay.
I add one thing?
What was that?
I don't know how to raise my hand for one, but I
Oh,
would.
there's a little thing that at the bottom.
God
but-
knows it moves every
Okay.
time we have this
But
meeting.
if you raise your hand, I will see you, Tom.
Thank you, thank you. If I could just say to Mr. Christian Gallo, if he's still on. Are you still on, Christian?
Yeah, I'm here.
Christian, a lot of times we have trouble getting owners of businesses on to come before the community board. A lot of times they'll send managers, they'll send legal representatives. So you personally coming on before us, even before you've consummated your purchase of the business, speaks volumes about the type of business owner you would be within this community. And I believe it would be an excellent business owner. I hope you're able to negotiate and find a good business to own here in Astoria. And the community board, we have a lot of connections. If you ever need anything, you can reach out to us, our office, our chair. We're really here to help people have successful businesses that benefit both themselves and our community. So I want to
thank you. I was actually talking to when 2 weeks ago or a month ago when the cops went. I was asking how I could be a part of the community board and kind of be part with you guys and make everything better for the community.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you guys. Florence, you're amazing. And thank you, everyone, for taking our call this evening. We'll have that to you in the morning, Florence.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
All
Thank you.
right. And yeah, I think that's about what we needed to know with these guys. And so now we can proceed to the next part of the meeting, which is the review of outdoor dining applications. In terms of outdoor dining applications, I'm going to ask all of you if you've read the the city's requirements for both sidewalk and roadway dining, and that you understand them and that you're going to operate within them. If there's any feedback you have for us. And basically, since we do not have unless we have feedback from the precinct that there has been a problem, we assume we know that you're doing your job, and most of the people here have been here for many years, and since this is Astoria, you know about sidewalk dining. So, okay, we're going to go through this. We'll just start with Favela, with you at 3318 28th Avenue and your application for sidewalk dining. Favela, are you here? Well, you were here, right? Okay, do we have Favela here? Okay, if they come back, we will get to them. Let's move right on to Il Nano. Do we have Il Nano here? Oh, wait, Jean, there you are. Favela Grill, unmute, please. I didn't see you there and your mute is on. I apologize for having moved past you. I did not mean to do that. Okay, Jean, you can do the unmute. Can you do that? Okay, it should work. You're still muted. Let's see, I don't think I can unmute you. Okay, and right now, okay, I'm asking you to unmute. And, oh, now we see your feet. Okay.
I got it.
Yes,
I got it. Thank you. First time using this. First time using this. Thank you.
Okay. Well, now you have a new transferable skill. All right then. I guess you heard. Did you hear what I was saying about what we're looking for from?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been doing this for a while? Have you been doing sidewalk dining? Have you been in a store for a while?
Oh, we only years now.
How many years?
About 16.
Okay, so yeah, you've been around.
Yeah, I've been around. I've been trying to get this sidewalk license all my life, and unfortunately, thank you for the pandemic. We got to put, the allowed to put people outside, which they love it. All my customers, they love it. So yes, it's a great thing.
Okay, so you've seen what the city requires of you, and the spacing and the stuff that you're allowed to use for sidewalk dividers and all that sort of stuff. And are you following that?
Yes, I submitted everything myself, and looks like I got an email says everything was complete and accurate the way you asked for it. So whatever you ask for me to do, and I'll be here to do it. Okay,
so that's good. Was there anything you wanted to pass along back to the community board?
No, we always,
okay.
We've been here for so many years, never have any issues with any one of you guys. Probably one of you guys already been here for so many, after so many years. So we're here.
Okay, well, I really appreciate your coming in tonight, and we thank you, and we hope that this rain lets up soon so everybody can enjoy eating outside, right?
Yep,
okay.
You're right. 100%.
Thank you. Okay,
Thank you.
now, all right, Il Nano, are you here? Who we got for Il Nano, and you can unmute yourself if you can.
Ma'am, just ask, should I be here? Should I go? What should I do?
No, you if you would like to stay around and listen, you can, but we don't need to have anything else from you. We just appreciate your coming tonight, and thank you for running a good business in Astoria.
My pleasure, and good night to everyone. And good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is Il Nano here? Do we have a representative from Il Nano 2517 Astoria Boulevard for a sidewalk permit? Have we got you? Well, I do not see you here now. If they've left, if they come back, we will get back to them. Next up, Jack Jones, 3801 Ditmars Boulevard, a sidewalk.
Hey, good evening.
Okay, hello, good evening. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Oh, we're doing pretty well, I think. So yeah, you got the application that the city put out. Have you been doing sidewalk dining before? Have you been around for a while?
Yes, we've had sidewalk out there. I would say 2018, maybe 2019. So we've had it for a while. Yeah, we've had it for a while.
Okay. And did you find that the city's instructions were clear enough and let you know what you needed to do?
Yeah, totally understood. I've read them, accept them. Notarized and signed, yeah, no problem.
Okay, and I will also say that if there are any members of the community board who would care to chime in or have specific questions or would like to know anything, please just, if you can't find the little raised hand icon, simply raise your hand and I will see you. Okay, so do you have, Jack Joneses, do you have any feedback for us for the board and to let us know, are there things that you need or that you want to tell us?
No, I think I'm comfortable with everything.
Okay, and once again, I thank you so much for coming out tonight, and I'm sure we are all wishing for great weather as soon as possible. Okay?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Next up, the brewery, 4918 30th Avenue for both a sidewalk and roadway dining. Have we got you the brewery?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, great.
That's Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. Okay, so how long have you been around?
2014.
Okay, so you've been around for a while, and have you been doing sidewalk for a while?
Since the pandemic.
Yeah, okay. And then roadway, you know that the current rules that replace the old rules, which are the for roadway dining, it's seasonal and you can't have a whole shed built up, correct?
Correct.
Okay, were you able to glean what you needed from the regulations that they sent out to you from the
Yes.
city? Okay, Department of Transportation is doing that. Are there things that you feel like that could be better or that you need more of, or anything that we can?
I really wish they had allowed you to extend beyond the frontage of the store like they did in the pandemic, when we have neighbors to give us a bigger space on the roadway. When you have neighbors agreeing to give up the space and welcoming it, the new rules won't permit that.
Okay, well, that's good feedback to hear, and we can also pass that along back to the Department of Transportation. This is since even though people have been doing this and having sidewalk dining for many years, as you know, this is process of the actual applications and the regulations is new within the last year and a half or so. So basically, thank you for sharing that with us, and I am going to make a note of it, and we're going to see what happens with that. And unless you have anything else you'd like to share with us, we're thrilled. Thank you so much.
Just go back to what you said, no sheds. What do you mean by that?
You can't build the things with the roof on them.
No roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have, the city gives you the materials that you're allowed to use, their size, and that it's seasonal for roadway.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and I haven't seen any roofed sheds in a while, which is nice. Okay, Lefkos Pyrgos, the famous Lefkos Pyrgos. Are you with us tonight? There you are.
Yeah, good evening. How are you? Good evening, everybody.
Okay, you're over on Ditmars Boulevard, actually right around the corner from where I work. So people know of you. You have been around for quite some time, right?
40 years, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So you kind of know what you're doing. And then with sidewalk, have you been doing that before, or did you start doing that during the pandemic?
No, we've been doing that for the past 10 years in the new place and 30 years before in the old one. So I guess we have pretty experience with it.
Yeah. So when the city sent you the brand new regulations and stuff like that, you knew what to do. You knew how to implement them.
Yeah, the only thing I had to complain, let's say, is we had for many years the rules were the same. We had like 16 tables. Now they're limited to 11, 12 because they say
of the size.
Yeah. Actually, because of the chimney we have on top of the roof, it's a new regulation, I guess. It limits us a little bit, but nothing to do, I guess, rather than complain a little bit.
Well, but that's the thing. Since this is new, we can actually listen for feedback and we can share it with the Department of Transportation. So it's always a work in progress, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, I truly appreciate your coming out here tonight, and I wish
Thank you very much. Thank you for your service in the community.
Of course, and more generations of doing what you do.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Doyle's Corner. I know Doyle's Corner. I think I did karaoke there one night.
Hi, Kathleen. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And you have heard us going through, and as you can tell, what we're looking for is that you know what you're doing, that you've been able to understand and follow the city regulations, and that you feel like you're going to be able to follow through with that, what they're asking for.
Absolutely, no problem.
Okay, and have you been doing that for a while?
Yes. Yeah, the restaurant's been there for 39 years and the sidewalk's been
Yeah,
there for
okay.
close to 20.
Okay, well then, do you have any feedback for us? So far, we've heard that it would be nice if they could extend behind more than the property frontage, and if there could be some wiggle room with the number of tables. How do you feel about things?
One was committed to me, we're quite happy with it, thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, well, I really appreciate your being here, and once again, it's Astoria. People know how to do outdoor dining, and they have for many, many years. So unless you have anything further for us, I would like to thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you, Kathleen, have a good night.
Okay, you too. Okay, Dagny, 3077 Vernon Boulevard on the sidewalk. Are you here tonight? Okay, I don't see them. If they come, we can give them a holler. I'm trying to see if I see it in my head because I go down there sometimes. I'm going to go down and just look at a certain point in the next few days. Okay, now we have New York City Bagel Coffee House, which has a few locations. So let's start with the one at 2910 Broadway. I know exactly where that is. It's a sidewalk dining thing. Can the representative from that particular location speak up? Are you here? I know we had like 12 of you, right?
You know what? I'm Bob Callahan from Michael Kelly Inc.
Okay.
John, this is us, John.
Yes. How are you?
John Lucas, the owner, is on with us.
Okay, great. Okay, so, and I believe you have one over
23rd Avenue,
right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine invited me there the other day. Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah, you also, again, you're not an ancient Astoria business, but you have been around a while, correct?
13 years.
Yeah, yeah. For Astoria, that's almost like a newcomer.
Yes.
So,
I was born and raised in Astoria.
Okay, that's good to hear. So, as you've been hearing me ask, you've got the regulations. You
Yes.
saw what you had to do. You had the size of the area, what you can and cannot do, the
Yes.
number of tables, and let's see. So you've got both. Have you got sidewalk and roadway at
No,
your
just sidewalk.
just sidewalk? Okay, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking of the one that yeah. Okay, so tell us then, have you been able to make that work? Are there things that you would share back to us and other things like that?
No, everything's fine. It works out perfect.
Okay, because I know,
Sidewalk yes.
yeah, okay, because I walk by the one on Broadway nearly every day, and I saw
Wow.
the other one last week or so when my friend invited me over there.
23rd Avenue. That was our first store.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and it's really nicely done.
Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions for the bagel folks? The NYC Bagel Coffee House folks? Oh, Thomas, yes, do you have a question? And you got your hand up.
I indeed researched it, and I was overlooking it. I will say that I really enjoy your store. It not only do you have good product, but I think everyone who works there is very happy.
That's our main thing. Thank you so much for that. I'd love to hear that.
Even when I go in very early in the morning, everyone's just so happy to, even when there are multiple people at the register, I can tell that the young people really, really are enjoying themselves.
Wow, Thomas, that was so nice to hear that from you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
I think that one of the things that we're all noticing with these outdoor dining applications as they've come into effect is that there are already a lot of people doing solid business in Astoria and have been doing it in a good way for many years, and that's really quite nice to see in our community.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
This is what part of what Astoria is known for.
That's right. That's right. Everybody knows everybody in Astoria.
Kinda, yeah. So okay, and then unless you have anything else or anybody else has a question, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you very much.
Now it's time to go home and make the bagels, right?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Nice meeting all of you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Taverna Kos. Are you here? You have a roadway.
Madam Chair, we have one more New York bagel on the list, 4505.
What was that again?
4505, New York Bagel, under 2908.
I see. Yes, yes. Okay, I'm working my way
Yep.
down the list
And
here.
3310 30th Avenue.
There's a couple of them, yeah, but
Yes.
can I just make a simple correction? The address is 4005 Broadway, not
Okay.
4505.
Okay, that's important. Okay, and I'm sure that Florence is noting it. Yes, okay. So yeah, I'm looking through my spreadsheet too. Now, it's really useful that Florence sends us out spreadsheets for every meeting with everybody's address and with the number of tables and chairs and everything like that. And usually we have our dear Marie Torniali, who is an expert about tables and chairs, but unfortunately she is not with us this evening. We will tell her all about it and she can ask about the tables and chairs. Okay, Tavernicos, are you here? Okay, if we do not see you, then we will just keep a going. The Trestle, 3402 Broadway, sidewalk dining. You're
Yes,
here.
I'm here.
Okay, good.
I'm here.
Okay, great. So then you've heard what basically the way that I've been asking stuff like this, which is you got the city's application, you saw what the regulations are, and you were able to implement them and utilize them as part of your business.
Yes.
Okay, good. Is there anything that you would like to share with us, or things that we should know as a community board, or just in general feedback on the process?
No,
Oh, and
it's all
yes.
good.
Okay, Evie, you also
Lot
have
cheaper than it used to be.
it's
when you
cheaper
used to
than
deal with consumer affairs.
okay. You mean in terms of like the materials and stuff like that?
No, the payments. You used to get a
Oh.
lot more money when you used to deal with consumer affairs
Okay.
before the pandemic.
Yeah. Okay, Evie, please. You have your hand raised. You're muted.
Hi, just a few questions. Is this the same number of tables that you've had in the past?
Yes. I'm not doing the street though. I'm just on the sidewalk.
Just doing the sidewalk.
So
And
pretty
then,
much the same it's the same outdoor seating I've had for 9 years.
is there also a hostess station that you put outside?
No, it's pretty much within the seating area. But the small little hostess stand that I put, that's within the seating, within my barricades.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking is because it is a very crowded corner, it seems. And I do remember there being a hostess station out there, and it, I think, made it challenging for pedestrians to go through. So if, whatever setup there is going to be this year, if you could just keep that in mind, it is a very tight corner right there on 34th
Yeah.
and Broadway with the setup, at least in the past. And then I guess my other question has to do with speakers on the sidewalk, because I know that I think we've gotten some complaints in the past about music being, projected onto the sidewalk. So I'm just curious
all my
about that.
windows, all my windows open, so music from inside.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
All my windows in the whole restaurant open, so a lot of music coming from all inside. And I close earlier, trust, so I don't stay open late there. It's not a late spot.
But do you have speakers that face the sidewalk that play music that project out?
No.
Do you have a way to measure that in terms of like if there's a limit on the decibels that you can have out on the street with your music? Do you measure that as a regular thing?
No, I personally haven't had any complaints from anybody. I know there was a guy going around writing up tickets, but that got canceled and got squashed all in court because the guy was doing an injustice to the neighborhood.
So you mean
I haven't had any complaints. No, it was a guy, just a regular civilian, writing tickets to multiple businesses about noise, and then it was a scam that he was doing. And I brought Florence's attention a while back. I was like, "Who's sending me tickets?" I ended up doing research and found out it was a scam and went to court for it and got it dismissed.
Okay.
But, other than that, I have a great relationship with the 114th. I know everybody in the 114th. So I've been, like I said, I've been doing business in Astoria for 15 years. I'm fourth generation historian. So
okay.
My mother
Well,
still
that is
actually
just
lives on
weird
that
to
block.
hear about that someone was making up their own tickets. So, Thomas, you had your hand up, and then Florence.
I did. Thank you.
Yes.
This really is a question. I'm sorry for my ignorance learning about this, but do we have stipulations in place for any of the people who are doing sidewalk dining or roadway dining?
And that is a question for Florence. Yes.
Yes, and those stipulations read parallel to the other stipulations that I've read that were provided by the office. That stipulation provides that the windows cannot be opened if music is being played, correct?
No. Shall I jump in at this point, Madam Chair?
Please.
Yes, please.
Music is not allowed to be played outside, and we do not allow speakers next to the door, as Chairman Evie said. But if they have air conditioning within the premises, air conditioning on during the summer, they cannot have the doors and windows open. That's a separate ruling.
Oh, that's what
yeah, that's the confusion. And what this gentleman is talking about is there was a brief law on the books, and I actually have to check it. It was while it was under DCA, the outdoor dining. Civilians were able to go around and write up different types of tickets. And if those civilians reported people, they would get a stipend for their reports. There was a newspaper article, Tressel, correct me, it's about 12 years ago, 14 years ago, where this gentleman was going around throughout Astoria writing these tickets. And that's how he got it overturned, because it was abundant. It was copious amounts of tickets. He was making a lot of money off of writing these tickets.
Okay, thank you. And Robert,
Yeah,
did you have something to say?
It was like $800,000 in tickets he was writing a year.
Okay. Yes. So Robert, you had your hand raised?
Yes, I deal with these noise complaints from these civilians all the time. So I could let you know basically what they were doing was they were authorized by the DEP to go out and write these noise violations. And each summons, the increment went up. And what they were doing was coming back every other day for a month or two, and not sending them out for 6 months. And then the owners would get 15 or 20 summonses in their mailbox, and more like over $4,000 or $5,000 each. It was basically just a money grab. Wow. So what the city did was they changed the law that anything before January 5th, 2024 that hasn't been adjudicated yet, the fine could be is $50. But just know now that these civilians are still out there and they are still writing summonses. And since these summonses are now written after 2024, the original values are going to continue. So they're basically, the fines are going back up. Now, what they can collect is still a minimum. They could collect, I think, $12.50 on one summons and up to $15 on another, or $20 on another. But the fines for the businesses will go. And there's one gentleman I know out there who is going to keep on writing them and has told me so.
Okay. Well, I had no idea about this, so I thank you for informing.
All the businesses know that it's not over, that they will be out there. And, I've dealt with these gentlemen for a couple of years in court now. And there's just one gentleman that's belligerent and is out to hurt every business out there.
Oh my. Okay. Well, that's good to know, and I actually will, just for my own information, look that up and see how that goes. Evie, I know you have your hand up as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really I know about the guy writing tickets. I really just wanted to get back to my question, which was like, is there amplified sound on the sidewalk? Is there speakers going out on the sidewalk? So I just want the reassurance from Tressel, that's all, that there won't be that.
No.
You'll hear music.
Yeah.
It comes back to the initial question.
Yeah, you'll hear music from the windows when the windows are open. But like I said, the trestle, that I have multiple spots, but trestle is not a late night spot. I close early. So it's mostly crazy around brunch time, which is during the day. And I don't go crazy at night with a late night crowd with music like that. I don't do DJs at night. My DJs are already during brunch.
Okay, so then you've got the steps that say, you know, with the air conditioning on, you leave the windows closed, etc., and no speakers out on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Okay, so if you follow those steps, then it should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have a question? That was a interesting little diversion there that I didn't know anything about, so I'm glad to know about that. Okay, we did our last New York NYC Coffee Bagel House, did we not? Have we finished with everybody? This is the one on 30th Avenue. Did we get everybody?
Yes, that's me again. But
Okay.
yes, we did get them all.
Okay, and you guys know what you're doing, and you
Yes,
understand
yes.
what the rules and regulations are, and that's really what we want to know, and we want to know to make sure that it helps the Astoria businesses and at the same time helps you keep being good neighbors.
Exactly. Yep, 100%.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Now we go to Salvatoria Kitchen and Bar, 3118 Broadway with Roadway Dining. I see you right there. Astrid, is that you?
Yeah, hi, how are you guys? I'm also applying for sidewalk.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I see roadway. I don't see sidewalk, but you put them both in?
We didn't get the application yet. Didn't come into the office yet.
I just need to send the site plan form for the sidewalk, and hopefully that's it for the sidewalk.
It's not in yet. DOT did not deliver it, just so you know.
Okay, so they're just waiting for that plan for me to send, and then they'll probably send it to you guys.
Okay. All right then, yeah, because they do send us copies of all the applications. So right now for the roadway one, you're looking at 23 tables, 46 chairs up there on Broadway, just above 31st. Yeah, you're up across.
32nd, yeah, 32nd Street between Broadway and 34th Ave.
Okay, and then you feel like that's a lot of tables and chairs. You feel like you have the room to do that comfortably and properly?
Yeah, I did it in 2022, which was super busy. Even though my restaurant is small, I think we can handle it. But I mean, I applied maybe for the future, because I'm not sure if I'm putting the roadway this year, maybe for next year. But I do know all the rules that I have to apply. I mean, go by for.
Okay, yeah, so what I have here and the application that was sent to us is the one for the roadway dining. And
Yes.
okay. All right, and so if you have sent in your sidewalk one, we will get a copy of that as well. I do know that the Department of Transportation has quite a lot of applications, and sometimes it can take a while for them to turn them around.
Yes, like I said, they emailed me. They just waiting for the site plan form for my sidewalk. And once I send that, hopefully the application gets sent to you guys.
Okay. All right then. So with your roadway, you're ready. Have you started because it's now past April?
Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it this year since everything is expensive, but I did apply maybe for the future. Maybe next year I'll save up and put it for the restaurant.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that right now expenses are just varying wildly for everybody and everything.
Yeah.
So that can be a problem. So does anyone else have any further questions for Salvatoria? Thank you. I really appreciate your coming out with us tonight, and I will plan to walk up there and see you guys.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right. And then we are now down to, I believe, Murphy's Bar, 4501 23rd Avenue, a sidewalk thing. Have we got Murphy's here? There you are, Rory.
Yes. Hello. Hi, guys. How are you?
Okay, yes. So you heard what I said to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know exactly where you guys are. And because you're like right across the street from the Bagel House, right?
Right. Yeah. 45th Street. Yeah, and 23rd.
Yeah. Okay. All right then. So you've got your application, you saw it, you know what you have to do. Was that something that was feasible for you to do?
Yes, yeah, it'd be my first time with the outdoor dining, but
Okay.
definitely here to abide by all the rules. Yes.
Okay, and then so yeah, when the weather starts up, presumably people will want to come by and hang out a little bit and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, and as I've spoken to a lot of people before, it can be, it's a good complaint to have when the weather's out, the people come out. But I am here to abide by keeping the sidewalks clear, which I know can be trouble sometimes. But I lately I've hired security to help out with that because our tables are getting busier, and that's what I plan to do, is to keep abiding by the rules and going forward. Yes.
Okay, well, I hope it bodes well for you, and you're actually one of the real newbies that that we
Yes.
have, because so many
Yeah.
people here
Yeah,
have.
and I'm very happy I was able to get on this because for years I was one of the part owners over at the Wolfhound on 30th Avenue.
Right, yeah.
And I'm still there with the guys, but yeah, broke away, opened up my own place, and but yeah, I've been in the story for 11 years now, so just very happy to even just be on this, to get to listen to everyone's opinions here.
Okay, good. Well, and I know that the business owners in Astoria do keep an eye out for each other and talk to each other and can share ideas and tips, which is very good. So I truly appreciate your time coming out and seeing us tonight. And once again, if you have any feedback or there are things that you need to know or would like to share more about, we remain interested, and you can always reach Florence at the office.
Okay, yeah, perfect. I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate y'all coming out. Okay, so now we are to the point of reviewing the cannabis applications, and I'm going to switch my, okay, I'm switching my page here. And we have 3 people here, total of 5 applications. So Florence, is Astoria Tavern oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong page. Okay. I no wonder. Okay, now, okay, I'm on the right page. We have 3 people tonight to speak with. Well, first off, we start with HF Dispensary LLC, which is at 3219 Broadway. This is an alteration. Do we have someone here from HF?
Yes, hi. My name is Joshua Gleiber, and I am the sole member of HF Dispensary LLC. Are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Through the chair, this is a change of address.
Okay, so that's good. Yeah, that means you already had a license, but you're moving premises, correct?
That's right.
Okay, can you tell us why you're moving?
Yes, we did the original application on a building that we owned early, back when the process started on Borden Avenue. At the time, we weren't sure it was an ideal location for a retail dispensary, but we thought it was good enough for what we had intended to do. And as we learned a lot more about the process and what we were doing, we decided we wanted a better retail location.
Okay, and so that means that since you have done all of the work to get a license, you know all of this stuff about distances and things that you can be near and what you can offer and stuff like that.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we're going to comply completely with all the regulations of the Office of Cannabis Management and the state.
Okay. So since it's, can be a very high traffic business, will you have security on premises?
We will absolutely have security on premises.
Okay. Let's see, do we have anybody else who would like to ask a question of HF? Joshua. Okay, and hold on here. All right, so I think, and are you open now or are you going to be open shortly?
Yeah, we're not open now. We're waiting for the approval to be in that location before we even start some renovation work. Looks like Evie has some questions.
Yes, Evie, please.
Thanks. Just a quick question. I'm just wondering, are you affiliated in any way with the business that was there before?
No, not at all. Not with no affiliation whatsoever.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Evie, anything else? Oh, good. Thank you. Now next up, Sami Saeed. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I see you there.
Yes, hi.
And
Yes,
you are looking for, you would like to open up a place at 2502 Broadway that is new. And tell us about where you're at right now.
yes, I'm at 2502 Broadway, and we would like to open the location. You know, we've been there for a long time, and yes, let's go.
Okay, so you've done all of the due diligence and stuff, and you fill it out all of the met all the requirements set by the state.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. And as you know, on Broadway, there are a lot of places, most of which aren't licensed. So you know that what you're doing is going to conform to what the state has asked for dispensaries.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Do you have any questions for us? Are there things that we should know?
No, everything is okay for me right now. Just yeah, I have a questions. Is any requirements for you know, for the spaces or sizes for dispensary? Like,
That I don't know. Who knows? Who is has someone has been following OCM guidelines? So you mean for the size of your premises?
yeah.
Okay, that I do not know because I haven't looked into it and I should. Florence, yes. Can you help us out here?
All of the guidelines are on the state's website. So what will happen is when Sammy goes up against the team at OCM, they will take his application, they will review it, and they will actually re-review the site again to make sure that the site meets their criteria. If for any reason the site that Sammy has picked does not meet their criteria, they will let him know and they will give him an opportunity to relocate another site.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that to us. I appreciate it. Okay, Sammy, did you get that?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Ms. Flores.
Okay. All right. We really appreciate your time today, and I hope that everything works out for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, good. And then one more cannabis application from One Way and
Kathleen,
One.
I'm sorry. I just want to have a chance to ask.
Please, I'm sorry. I should have asked you. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your question?
No, just for Sammy. So are you like working with a consultant to help you with your plan? Because how familiar are you with the regulations? Like what kind of
Yes.
security you're gonna have? Like what, I'm just curious as to who you're working with and how you're developing a plan to open an establishment that is going to work well in the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, we will work with the security company, you know. Also, we will have, camera 24 hours. And there is a lot of requirements, we will have to follow, through the OCMs. And well, we're looking for to work with a company that's it's follow the regulations of OCMs.
Okay, but are you working with someone who has been through the process before or who can help guide you through the process?
Yes.
Okay. Is that like a consultant of some kind?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's good to know because as you know, it is a complex process and there are a lot of requirements that do need to be met. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, and Evie, I'm sorry I didn't see you over there in the corner, so I should always look over and check. So, all right, thank you, Sammy. I appreciate your coming out with us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Now, do we have someone from One Way NYC LLC? They are applying for a location at 4315 Ditmars Boulevard.
Hey guys, this is Teddy Nastasio. I serve as counsel and the attorney for One Way NYC LLC. I'm also a limited member of the company. Based on the board's comments about having regulatory experience, I represent roughly a third of the retail manufacturing cultivation industry in New York State, including 2 out of the 5 top grossing dispensaries here in the state.
Okay. All right. So then you know what needs to be done basically to make it happen for One Way.
Correct.
Okay. And when do you plan to have them? When are they planning on opening up?
The lease was only executed about 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
in around the time for Greek Easter. And we received approval on the OCM map roughly about, I would say, 11 days ago. So we're fairly early in the process. We don't anticipate opening up for at least 3 to 4 months, if not longer, depending when OCM grants the virtual inspection to come permit the place to commence sales to the public.
Okay, good. It sounds like you know what you're doing over there.
We try.
Good. Okay. Yeah. And frankly, I'd much prefer the licensed dispensaries than these pop-up shops that can have unsavory stuff going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else have any questions for One Way for Ted? Since he is someone who this is a large part of his business. Okay.
I'm sorry, I just have one question. The first applicant here, that location is where exactly? Is that 32-19 Broadway?
Yes, that's what it says on the application.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right then. Yeah, we're just down that block earlier today. All right. So I think that is for the meat of the order. We've gotten through all these people who were kind enough to come out and speak to us this evening and talk to us about their businesses and how they are following up and working within the guidelines and regulations set forth by the city and the state. So everybody on the committee has in fact received a spreadsheet with all of the other liquor license applications on it. As far as we know, we have asked the 114. Nobody sent up a flare or a red flag from the ones that are listed. You have pages 1 and 2, and you have about 24 different places. Is there anyone who would like to bring up one of these places or to find out more about them or anything anyone else? A lot of these are renewals as well as a few new ones. I mean, these are some places that have been around for a while, and some are restaurants rather than bars or clubs that serve beer, wine, or liquor. So if everyone on the committee could, cast your eyes over what we have here of the May licenses, we have 24 of them. If anybody has any questions or comments or would like to speak about anything of any of these places, anyone? And as I said, we have what? Okay.
No, I said no, sorry.
Oh, okay, great. We have not received any reports from the 114th that these are people who need to be talked to or asked about. So that's good. We will continue, as always, to reach out to the 114th to make sure that we do know that if there are people who have excessive complaints to 911 or 311. Okay, so anyone else care to say anything about the liquor license applications? All right, so this is
Kathleen. I'm sorry.
Yes. Hi, Thomas. Yes.
Hi. It's really onerous to have to raise your hand, but that may just be for me because I have those issues. I do think that there is an issue with Republic, and I refer to a Republic because that is the entity. Now, I need some clarification. Are they applying? Why are they here? Are they applying for a liquor license? We were supposed to speak to them to review because we've been alerted to them functioning without or serving without a liquor license.
That is my understanding of it. And in my own research, I cannot find that there is an active liquor license for Republic or La Macarena. Florence has raised her hand. Yes, Florence.
Since I would say since January of this year, the new individuals have applied 3 to 4 times, but each time they come, they never have the right information. we were alerted that they had an event, a soft grand opening. Our office sent out the fire department because at the soft grand opening, they were indeed serving hookah. They were also serving alcohol, and they are not supposed to be operating under somebody else's license. As you indicated, people take this for granted, but they're not allowed to do it. Also, allegedly, what happened is the former business owners, quote unquote, sold the business without any notice to the landlord. To the new owners, there's no active lease. In addition to that, they've had several events which are clearly advertised on social media. Actually, there were even palm cards advertising the hookah, which the committee saw. They then went online, pardon me, and removed those palm cards. But if you peruse through the pictures, you can see people in recent photographs with hookah bongs in the background very clearly. You see people with alcoholic beverages. Upon my conversations with state, they are not supposed to be using the Republic license. They're not allowed to do that. So there's a lot of hodgepodge back and forth.
So I'm just wondering, are we being asked, and I apologize if I've missed this, are this gentleman who represented himself first as the owner, which it seems that he's in the process of purchasing with an intent, a letter of intent, he of course could not apply because he does not own the business. Are we being asked to opine on Republic's license, the structure of the company, or the new license?
The new license would at the end game is for him to have his name on the liquor license. So he submitted, I believe it's up to three different applications in three different ways. And his word, as the chairman of the board said, is greater than the word of his rep because his rep is not an attorney. So his statements carry more weight than the weight of his representative. But if I may speak frankly, is that okay, Madam Chair?
Yes.
I think they're trying to pull the wool over your eyes.
I'm concerned that there's a transaction going on, and I really appreciate the fact that he came on, and I thought he was very forthcoming. But what my concern is that he's using a license that belongs to a corporation that really is the predecessor to the corporation he's owning. And I don't know how we deal with these issues. And are we looking at the license? I don't understand how we're looking at a license he has applied for if the transaction has not been consummated. That's basically.
In the old days, we used to call it fishing, going back to some of the older chairs. There were times in the old days where three different people would actually put in an application for a license at the same exact address, and you would go to your list and you would see Tom Wright, Kathleen Warnock, TBD, and they would all be TBD. And we stopped that ourselves when they started coming in. This goes back to John Katsanos, and we started reining that in. That's when we started coming up with the stipulations and everything, because people would see if they could get the liquor license before they would sign the lease.
So that's what's happening here.
And it appears that they're doing that, but it goes deeper than that. The alarming part is the fact that we sent out the fire department twice. They told the fire department that people brought the hookah in themselves. Any smart person in Astoria knows nobody's going to carry a bong and stuff to a grand opening of a place just to smoke hookah. It seems very, very fabricated. And then the fire department did go back a second time, and on the second time they did not find any paraphernalia. They have been serving, and according to what I'm understanding from state, and to the best of my knowledge, they are not operating with the license.
So we're being asked to either recommend the new owner for approval or
Mhm.
not? That's the question posed.
Exactly.
Yeah, can we pull up the application, Florence? I'm gonna see if I can find it in mine, but I have a really hard
Can
time.
you? Yeah, can
I'm
you?
gonna try
Guys
it,
send
yeah.
them in a big group.
Okay, and Evie, did you also have a question?
Well, I would like to see the application because I'm not actually able to find
Okay,
it.
hold
I
on.
can't
My
either,
emails.
Evie.
It wouldn't
It's
be
like-
this month. It would be the
Well,
month
they've been coming to
before.
us since
This is-
March, right?
Exactly. They've been coming
It'll be
for
the
multiple
March
times.
group.
So if it would be great to just actually pull up the application, right?
Okay.
The most recent one, because there've been 3, correct?
It would
Yeah,
be
and we had one last month that was incorrect.
each one is
So-
different, and that's where the problem is.
The one that's relevant to what they were coming before us this month.
Mm-hmm. Let me see
So we
here.
can
I'm
actually
I'm
look
just
to
gonna
see
see
whose
if
name
I
is
can
on
pull
it.
it up. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up from my emails.
It would be easier for you. I have so many.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Okay, and I'm looking here. There's the one. When is this? This was from last fall when we drafted a denial letter for
That's
Republic.
right. This is
Yeah.
not, this is, and that was because their liquor license, this is for Republic, had expired at that point.
Yeah.
already.
The
So
place has been horrific.
that's when Milagros couldn't come because apparently there was a family emergency or she was in the hospital.
Precisely.
With Arelis, this seems to happen all the time. Everyone seems to go in the hospital anytime she has something to present before us. So,
Yeah.
So at that point, we decided to write a recommendation to not approve the license to the SLA.
Mhm.
And so, I guess it would be actually good to see this application right now.
I'm looking right now. There's just so many of these emails where we have discussed them, unfortunately.
I don't know if we actually got it.
Yeah, you did. You did. You got 3 of them, as a matter of fact. I'm just looking back to see which grouping it's in. You have to go through them one by one to find it.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
very helpful to me because I think we're kind of getting lost in the weeds but
This is just to state, this is why we send them in advance for you to review them prior to the meeting because of the number, the volume of them. That's why you get them in advance so that they're reviewed. I'm looking now while we're talking.
Okay.
because in the committee meeting, someone's going to have to make a motion, either approve or deny.
You can't at
No.
the full board, only at the
No,
full
but that's
board.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Full board committee meeting. And we're just going to have to be able to discuss it with some insight into the application.
Okay, I'm looking. I think I might have found the right month, and now I'm just going to scroll through until I can.
Spreadsheet.
And my little dog keeps bothering me. Tigger, go away. Tigger, go
Not
away.
bothering you. My dog also, thank God, someone just took him out. My dog was lying on the floor whining and looking at me.
Yeah, well, Tigger wants me to pay attention to him, and right now I'm paying attention to my computer. Okay, and for those of you in the Astoria area, Dr. Glasser at Steinway Court Vet is our favorite guy. I'm still looking. Okay, I'm seeing Meet the Meat. I'm seeing S Meeting something, and I'm looking Musialito. Come on.
Is this no? That's
That's March.
I think it's next month. I did the 219 batch, so don't look through the 219 batch. It's not there.
Okay, I'm still looking in my thing. Hold on a sec here.
Because it's every week they come to you guys.
Right, yeah, and I sit down and go over them, but I can't remember when I went over this one because it was a couple of months ago and we've had them in.
It was January, and then she came back and she sent right after that one, she sent another item which I sent to you guys. And then she came back.
Then they sent the one from the other guy and the one from
Precisely, which was that was the last month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's it, last month. So why am I going back to the February one? I might as well go back to the last one. So that would be 3 in the 3 batch.
In March?
March, yes. So
Mhm.
anything with an attachment from March. Here's Consumer
Alright.
Affairs memo agenda.
Okay,
That's-
yeah. And then there was that one for zone, sorry. Yeah, we've got a few of these.
Yeah, that needed to work.
Did you find it?
No. March.
Reserved.
Okay. I'm still looking back here and apps, April. It's dining out.
Oh, sweet.
I don't see one for March. I go from February to April.
I see March 11th, Consumer Affairs. But I don't see any applications. Maybe
That's a spreadsheet. It has to have the paper clip on it. If it has the paper
Yeah.
clip on it.
yeah.
Okay, May apps.
I think maybe in the future we can just kind of attach everything into one, when we send out the reminder. So everything
Yes,
is
because that way we don't have to go
The
looking.
problem with that sometimes, just saying the kickback. I'll try it. I'll definitely try it. Well,
Yes, because yeah, that's what
But
it's
the
all
thing
come
is,
down
then
to.
should we stop sending the sheets every single week? Just send the spreadsheets and not, because this is all duplicate and triplicate work.
No,
If
it
this is,
doesn't have to be. We could also just set up a folder in a
we
drive
have the folder.
and share that information.
We do have a folder, but what I'm asking you is instead of sending individual, because we send emails each and every week
Right.
with the grouping, instead of sending the grouping each and every week, just send the spreadsheet. Here, I think this is it. 1 minute. No, La Concha, she also represents
On
them.
March, it wasn't on the agenda.
No, I have it further back.
Further
And
back,
then in April, that's when they withdrew the application they had.
because you were mean to them.
I
just
just
don't-
asked the questions,
Yeah.
Intimidating. Full board hearing, Consumer Affairs. Here we are.
I'm not intimidated.
They're small groupings.
Tigger, get down. Get down. Go see mommy. Go see mommy. Donna, can you call him? Donna? Yeah, okay.
What's
All
his
right.
name, Kathleen?
Tigger.
Here, Tigger, Tigger, Tigger.
Don't do that. He will hear you.
Mine would have been on the computer.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it is imperative for us to have a look at the versions of the liquor license applications because they've had at least 2, 3, Florence, do you think, or 2?
So what I will do is tomorrow in the office, I will set up I believe it's 3 applications. I'll put them into one kit and I'll email them to you. So you have all 3 versions side by side. So you can see the last 3 applications that were sent from that address.
All right, because I think that's imperative for us to have.
But also what they said, which is concerning, and I will follow up with state on, is the fact that every other business, when they change their name, they've sent us a form. And what her claim is that they don't have to do that. So I'm going to look into that as well, because state never notified us of that. So if this is something that's new, we should know about it. So I will look into that also.
Whether it exists or not, yes.
Precisely, because never heard of it.
I guess, Kathleen, if I can, just to point out we have some new committee members or even current committee members.
Hi.
Just to know that, I'll share my screen if that's okay.
Yes, please do.
Hold on one sec. That you can look up everyone can see that?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at this evening.
You can look up any liquor license, any location, I should say, any establishment on the New York State Liquor Authority Mapping Project, or LAMP. You put in the address, and then you can see what comes up. So this is for Republic right here. right? I can click on that and you can see it's inactive.
Yeah.
It expired January 31st, 2024, according to this, which is usually very up to date. So,
yeah. And you look it up by address.
You can look it up by address and you can kind of see, you can see whether there were any past violations, disciplinary history. You can see who the owner is. Wow. This is interesting because just earlier today when I looked on, I saw that it was Milagros and I forget what the last name on. Now it's not actually not available for display. Interesting that just happened. But anyway, you can, yeah. So, if you have, this is for the committee, because we all should be kind of looking at these places. If it's a problem place, you can just learn a little bit more about their history and see actually what exists right now by going to this map and just clicking on there.
Yeah. I want to say, I hate to challenge and say that it's a problem place, because normally the place is a place, but they're poor owners who, this is in order to run a good business, you have to be a really adept at managing many different things. And Milagros, being the mother of Roberto, who was in the kitchen, who seemingly is selling it, and I've done transactional work before, and if I tried to sell you a bar without a liquor license versus trying to sell you a bar with a liquor license, you probably would buy the bar with a liquor license. And certainly then the lawyers get involved and try to get the buyer a liquor license. So I hate to disqualify it based on its past, but certainly, as Florence has said, it's has had problematic owners historically. I'm hopeful that it gets into the hands of someone who's responsible and
who has a liquor license.
And responsible and having a liquor license and frankly, a hookah license. I recently went to a great hookah place.
You can't get hookah licenses anymore. They don't give them anymore. Those
really?
who have them have them. Grandfathered.
Oh, I went to a place called Gardenia in the city in Manhattan, near where I used to live. So that's something to know. Thank you, Florence. But you wonder how much the purchaser knows about these things. And I wish more purchasers would see the community board as an asset. Coming to us, we have no reason to not tell the absolute truth. And if you're going to invest so much money, you need to keep your liquor license and you need to build good business that lasts for a lifetime or as long as your investment occurs. And I think that really as a community board, we do a good job at that. I don't think we're here to put anybody out of business. We don't get in the way of business, but we just try to share the information we have. And then when someone's in flagrant violation, we have to do what we have to do to protect our neighbors.
Was he the applicant last month when they came?
He wasn't there last month.
Oh, so who was going to
Well,
be
Aurelia was the only one there last month.
But representing
Oh,
whom?
the other guy, the guy with the hat. Was that the same guy?
I didn't make the meeting last night. I didn't make the meeting last month. So
I know, but there was a guy last month who said he was the owner. And was it the same guy? Because he said everything would be cleared up and he didn't know anything about that, blah, blah, blah.
This guy, Christian, who was here tonight?
Was that him? I think
he came last month too. I don't know. I didn't make the meeting.
He did. And then also there was a confusion because apparently there were two expediters and different liquor license or different applications to the state. And that's when they asked to withdraw last month and come back this month. And this month they don't seem to be as prepared as they could be.
We're in the middle of a transaction is what we're in the middle of. They're trying to, poor Milagros, her kid bought a business that's not going very well because he doesn't have a liquor license. So they're trying to offload it, and Christian's buying it with his sister, and he's got to get it up and running with a liquor license. And now we're going to be evaluating his liquor license. And I don't know if we're supposed to be should we consider him purchasing the business? Should we consider the history of the business under Roberto et al. And others, we don't know because it's a little mixed. When we're evaluating Christian's license,
but for
You're
me,
assuming Christian is actually going to buy it, and that's the thing that we don't know.
I
And
think
Christian is the one. Christian is the one who has to apply for the
but
license.
also I have to judge Christian for buying and operating a club without a license.
But Kathleen, if I may come to the defense of someone.
You may. I mean, this is a good, solid dialogue we're having.
Sometimes when a purchaser comes in who hasn't been in the bar business before, they're sold the liquor license and they allow you to they allow you to basically have like a going concern using that liquor license under a DBA, which is what they're doing here. Because see, Christian really hasn't, that business is still rooted in Republic. It's just, for those on the board who are new, DBA stands for doing business as. And it's just, and I don't mean to condescend, but just I don't want to use acronyms because they can be confusing. But then that you're doing business as maybe the name that he picked and he wants to change it. But they know that if they just transfer it to him, there's going to be no liquor license. But I think what we've found out is potentially Republic's liquor license is inactive. But we have to
2024.
So if Christian just came before us, but came before the board with the license, with the application that Florence is going to provide us, and asked us to review that to see if we were going to recommend him for approval to the state board, my question is, would we do that without looking back to what was happening in Republic? Because it seems like they are distinct, not owners at this point, but potential owner and Roberto.
And for me, I think I have a hard time with the murkiness of the transaction and of the previous owners. So that's something that we can discuss as a committee and also bring it up before the board when we make our vote next week.
And he did also say that he was the owner, even of the past, the 3 iterations of it.
Of Eros, yeah.
He even said that.
But Roberto said that he was the past owner. Christian said that he was the actual owner now, is my understanding of what
I think Christian said he was talking about Eros. So I don't know if he's been trying to buy it since Eros, but he had a connection there. Florence, would you like to I see your hand is raised there.
Yeah. So be completely transparent. For years and years and years, this location has been a hardship to the community, to the neighbors. At one point, there was a shooting outside many years ago. The place has always been difficult. This gentleman has been telling us a different story each time he comes before the board. I feel strongly that you have to weigh how you feel as a committee, because for someone to say, well, oh, we didn't serve hookah, people brought it, and then when the FDNY was inside the establishment, the statement was made they did a soft grand opening, and then you're getting each time a different version of a story. To me, that's huge red flags, and I think that you have to, look at those red flags and see how much you think it's going to impact the community, especially with the history at that location and the lack of connectivity with this individual saying point A on Monday, point B on Tuesday, and point C on Thursday. You're very generous in your benefit of the doubt, is my opinion.
I think we
very
have to
generous.
Look at the evidence that's there.
Precisely.
Go back and watch the other videos. I actually love to hear from some of the other committee members too.
Yeah.
So and I would say that we have to look at what the situation is. We don't know. We don't know whether, we know that there's also been shell games in the past, right? Where it's because there's an issue with a previous owner, they try and put it in someone else's name, So we don't know. We have to just kind of get those applications, look at those, And then there's a reason why this was flagged by NYPD.
Yeah, and Cornella has a question too. I'd love to hear from you.
No, I don't have a question. I just have a comment that I just thought the whole transaction with that woman was weird. Even with the fact that she said that the guy had a difficulty understanding us and he was speaking perfect English. And I thought that was weird too. So it kind of makes it's like you're being, I don't know, it's like you're being a little sneaky and disingenuous with the things that she was saying. And I didn't know who was the owner because one person said they were the owner, and the next person comes on and say they're the owner. So it was just weird. The whole transaction was weird to me. And I think it is great that we look at the past videos just to see other problems that she was coming up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad for your feedback because I think sometimes you're sitting here watching and you're trying to figure out what really is going on. So getting feedback from other people and also getting a reality check from other members of the committee is a really helpful thing to happen. Okay, thank you. Does anyone else care to comment on this particular, well, actually, we're still focusing on, well, it is La Macarena now. Okay, but with the business formerly known as Republic.
Well, it actually is, it is the Republic just doing business as La Macarena.
Yeah.
That's why there's definitely, this is a lot of legal maneuvering that is very familiar. I was a corporate attorney. I'm very familiar with this. And I believe we're in the middle of a transaction. And to Florence's point, if 3 applications have been submitted, we really have to go in and look at those applications and evaluate them based on what's happening, because who is going to run this in the future, and is it going to be run in a way that we would approve of? That's really the question, I believe.
I agree. Okay, good. Anyone else care to comment? I feel like we've had a good, solid discussion about this, and we will have this coming up next week. There will be, we will ask the full community board to vote on a recommendation of yes or no. And I'm sure that there will be some feedback from the other people on the committee and people on the board. Okay, are we good with this? Okay, because now, is there any old business? I don't think that counted exactly as old business, but is there old business to discuss? Other things that we have, issues that we've talked about or looked at that need to come back in front of us again? Okay. New business, is there anything anybody would like to bring up right now that they feel like we should be looking at? Okay, now, in that case, may I ask for a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Quinella. May we get a second?
Second.
Don't be shy.
I give you a second, Miss.
Okay. Florence, we have a movement to adjourn and a second. Oh, Shahanaz, yes. Oh, are you just applauding or are you raising your hand?
That's applauding.
Applauding.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think we got a whole lot done tonight. I think we had some really good, valid discussion, and unless there's anything else, I will see you all next week. And thank you so much for everybody who came out and everybody who participated. Have a really good night. Okay.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
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 Thank you, Harish Studios. Please turn off the video. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your service.